Okay, the green beans have cooked a little over an hour and a half, and they're still not done, so it'll probably take about 4 hours for these to really get good and done. And when they cool off, I'm going to put them in freezer bags, and then I can heat them up when I need them, because that's a lot of green beans for me. But you can always freeze them. That's what my mom always did. She'd get them from the garden, clean them, cook, snap them, and then cook them, and then cool them down, and then put them in the freezer bags. In the freezer, they had a deep freezer, so big old freezer. I'm going to add some chicken broth in there to add some flavor. So I'm going to I got a cup in there, bring it to a boil. Now I turned it back up on medium, and I'm going to let it cook like that, because simmer was really doing not much, so I want them to get done. Okay, so let the chicken broth cook in there, and then we'll cook them on down. Okay, the green beans are done. All the liquid is cooked out of them. You can see that they're I don't like my green beans crunchy. And this is the way my mom and my grandma always cooked them. And you can see that this full pot, when I first put them in, has cooked down a lot. And that's what they'll do. Now I'm going to give you a little tip. Now my grandma used to scorch them a little bit at the bottom. And then just stir it in. It's not going to hurt. I don't mean by burning them, because you have to watch it. And then you can see there's still some, now what you're going to do, you can still see there's liquid in there. See? And you just mix all of that in its flavor. And that you put the, chicken broth in there too. Now I'm going to add it's probably what, a teaspoon of garlic powder. And my mom didn't use a lot of measuring spoons for stuff, neither did my grandma. Add some salt. You can always add salt to it as you go. Now I already had salt, and that's pepper, in the water when I first started it. And put whatever seasonings you want in here, but just don't add too much salt, because you know your broth has salt. I added salt to the water when I started it. Your fat back or whatever you put in there has salt to it. So let me taste it and see if it's salty enough. Yeah, that's salty enough for me. I wouldn't add no more. But you just taste it and whatever your liking is for the seasoning. That's good right there. So I'm going to cover it up and have some with my dinner tonight, and which is the pork roast, which is still cooking. And then, oh man, that's making me hungry. Yum. It smells good too. Alright, I accidentally deleted the first part of this video, so I want to tell you I cleaned them. These are fresh green beans. I cleaned them, I snapped them, my parents had a vegetable garden, so I know how to do all of that. I soak them in vinegar water, white vinegar, part white vinegar, part water, and I soak them for about 20-30 minutes, and then rinse them real good, and then snap them, and so anyway, if you know how to clean green beans, then you know what I'm talking about. Then I put them in the water to start boiling them. Now I have I cut off from the pork roast. I cut off some of the fat and put in there, because my mom used to cook green beans. She put fat back, or she put ham hock in there, or if she was cooking a pork, she would cook some fat off of it. So that's basically the rundown of the first part of the video.